So Jokers, you've been wondering why I haven't uploaded a Joker movie update in a while, and now's the time because people are saying and reporting that Joaquin Phoenix has crushed the movie in his Joker role. Or he's crushed the Joker role in the movie. So we need to talk about this and a few other things since now the Joker movie is coming out this year. How's it going, Jokers? Welcome to a brand new video on the Joker movie. I haven't done one of these in a little while. Now, I've been thinking of making one for a while, but it wasn't until today when I was having a conversation with a fellow YouTuber by the name of Paigey, where I just thought now may be the time, because recently, you know, in the articles all around the internet, everyone's saying that Joaquin Phoenix rumored to have crushed his Joker performance. All I've got to say to that is anyone surprised? Like, I've been saying this the whole time. I mean, of course, like, we can't, like, say this for concrete proof or anything like that, but I have the utmost faith that he has. And we'll get into, you know, Joaquin Phoenix and his role as the Joker in the movie, and will it do good and things like that a little bit later in this video. But this whole video is going to be just talking about the movie after the fact, you know, now it's finished production in December, and I just want to blabber my thoughts about it. So sit down and relax, and let's just talk about the Joker movie in general. It is really weird to say now that the Joker movie is coming out this year, literally October 4th, I believe. But you may be wondering, as I've seen quite a few comments throughout the weeks or the past month or so, I don't know how long it's been since my last Joker video, but Boba, why haven't you made a video on the movie? And that is mainly because there hasn't been so many updates. I mean, sure, first of all, when the Joker movie was shooting in New York, there was lots of stuff coming out. Like, we didn't know what he'd look like. Was that makeup look his final look? Oh, look, he's in the subway doing this with a clown mask. There's a load of clowns coming off the train. There's like, Wayne is to blame. Thomas Wayne is in the film. What's going on? A lot of the footage or leaked stuff from the movie, behind the scenes or whatever, stuff like that, consisted of Joaquin Phoenix doing exactly this. Yeah, quite literally running up and down the street from the GCPD. I'm guessing obviously there was a lot more scenes, like there was scenes shot of him like filming with Zazie Beetz in a diner or something like that. But you get the gist. I wanted to wait until something was tangible, and now, since the movie is, you know, wrapped up production in December, now is that time. So, of course, first of all, I want to talk about these reports. I'm just going to choose one random article. So, rumor has it that Joaquin Phoenix is owning his role as the Joker. Justin Shenlian reports having heard some strong buzz around the new Joker origin story film. I'm not familiar with him in particular, not sure how credible it is. Obviously, it's still a rumor, but I'll get to my opinion on it in a second. Been told by many that Joaquin Phoenix has crushed it as the Joker. The more I hear about this project, the more excited I get for it. You're all in for a treat when this film is released in October. Heard the script is incredible and that they nailed the character of the Joker. Now, seriously, I have a lot of faith in this film. I think there's going to be a lot of people who go into it. Well, first of all, I think this film will be a major success, but it could be controversial. I think the film will be good by itself anyway. I think that Joaquin Phoenix is going to be incredible. I am a big fan of his, and that is not biased. Everyone knows that Joaquin Phoenix is definitely up there amongst the talent of, you know, the acting industry and everything like that. It's just self-explanatory, right? But there's still this whole thing of there'll probably be some fans, a lot of fans, I'm sure. And they'll probably be saying, "Where is Batman? Wait, what? This isn't how the movie is supposed to be. Like, wait, why is the Joker this old and Bruce Wayne, since we know he's going to be in the film, like around 10, 11, 12? That's not how it should work." They probably won't grasp the fact, you know, your average moviegoer, that it's an Elseworlds film. I'm just really looking forward to this movie because I feel like it doesn't have to do the Killing Joke storyline. Even though, as I said, a lot of people will probably be going into it thinking, wait, this isn't how it's supposed to be, or something like that. This is an Elseworlds film that they're gonna, you know, DC are trying to create a new label of, you know, future Elseworlds films, and this will be the first one to do that. Apart from, like, obviously the Nolan films, that dark, grounded, gritty, you know, set of Batman films, and, you know, obviously we had the Joker in The Dark Knight and everything like that. They haven't really done a film within Warner Brothers before that feels exactly like a Scorsese or, you know, Tarantino film. And this film will be that, even though Scorsese isn't actually on board to produce or anything like that anymore. But you get what I mean. It's still going to have that vibe. And the important thing is, I think, despite the fact that it's an Elseworlds story and people will be kind of confused, in terms of why it isn't going the exact way they think it will be, that shouldn't matter. This film is gonna, and they've never pretended otherwise. This story is gonna be about a man who is disregarded by society, as they put it themselves. It's gonna be a broader cautionary tale. So essentially, it's gonna be about a man, Arthur Fleck, quite grounded. You know, a guy who is struggling probably to get work, as we've seen throughout the behind the scenes, etc., etc. There may be drug problems, and it may be all kinds of struggles like that. They're not going to make it your traditional Ace Chemicals, oh, I've become the Joker now. Just to give you an example of what I'm kind of talking about, as I was linking this 4chan post, whether it's real or not, I'm very confident scenes like this will be in the movie. And by the way, whether this ends up being true or not, spoiler warning, but it's not heavy spoilers. This will just truly give you a feel of the film if it is real. Just putting that out there. So this person had to say, in one of the early drafts of the script, Arthur, who is feeling depressed due to work and money struggles early on in the film, walks into a music store and purchases Monty Python's Life of Brian record, because look on the bright side of life, All Things Dull and Ugly is one of his favourite songs to listen to when he's feeling low. He also whistles the tune after committing his first successful crime as the Joker. When he picks up the record and smiles, an Irish priest standing next to him parrots the real-life Irish priest and writer Brian D'Arcy by saying to Arthur, anybody who buys that record and finds it funny must have something wrong with their mentality. Arthur responds, telling the priest, and anybody who talks to an invisible guy in the clouds begging him to cure AIDS or to win the lottery must have absolutely nothing wrong with theirs. No? Get real, pal. He goes on to say, I'm not sure if this scene or song will remain featured within the picture after rewrites were made, but the movie's version of Look on the Bright Side of Life was on the discussion table to become the closing credits music. So whether that's real or not, like, this is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. That is perfect. That is perfect for a Joker movie, or what I envision this movie to be. Like, just within itself, Look on the Bright Side of Life being the credit song, but even just a remark when that priest made to Arthur Fleck in the film, and then he just responds to that. That is adding up to everything I've heard. There were some leaked scripts. Supposedly they might be fake. I didn't necessarily believe them in the first place, but that contained a lot of Arthur like talking about the world, the stupidity and the circumstances of, you know, just craziness and insanity and blah, 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 blah. It felt really good and it felt real. But bottom line is just that is what this movie is going to be throughout when we see this man struggling in Gotham City, just getting shat upon and, you know, breaking at some point and becoming the Joker. Albeit in a different way than what you're expecting, because it is an Elseworlds film. You know, for example, we have Thomas Wayne in it, Batman is 11/12, but I will talk about, you know, those popular fan theories or rumors of what could be in the film in terms of the Batman and Joker connection in this film, even though it won't concentrate on that barely anything, probably. There is still some theories that I've mentioned in previous videos about that. So either way, in terms of how this film does with success, I think Joaquin Phoenix will carry the film. So even if there's a lot of fans, or if the film is really controversial, some fans saying, oh, the film wasn't great because of the story, that's not the way it's supposed to be, all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. I think even those fans will still have something good to say about the film in terms of the Joker himself, hopefully, with Joaquin Phoenix potentially carrying the film. Either way, I'm still up for this Elseworlds story, as I said. Even some of the wacky ideas out there, just because, as I said, in a massive bubble, it is an Elseworlds film. That's why you can have the Batman and Bruce Wayne and Joker possible sibling connection, which we'll get onto in a second. There's plenty of films out there where, you know, the film might be average or something like that, but the main star is what everyone is talking about, and quite possibly they carried the film. So I think that this will be a success for Warner Brothers regardless, and will be a nice springboard into other Elseworld films, whatever, you know, label they're bringing this under, whether it is just, you know, Warner Brothers, DC's Elseworld films, or the rumored DC Dark or DC Black label, or something like that. This could go on to create really cool other Elseworld films for Warner Brothers. Well, it will, but, you know, I don't know, they could make a Gotham by Gaslight live action movie. Now, I doubt that will happen, but you get what I mean. If people were still complaining by then, if they did that, like, oh, Batman back in Jack the Ripper days, that's not how it was supposed to be, then I think those people have clearly missed a point. So I'm hoping most people will get that and really enjoy this Elseworlds label that DC are creating with you know, the first film being the Joker. Now, talking about those wacky theories, I'm not going to go into this too much at all because I've mentioned it in quite a few of my previous Joker movie updates, but there were early theories, and I will say take this with a huge grain of salt of, you know, the fact that this is an Elseworlds film. They might be making the Batman and Joker connection a lot more personal. So, you know, the fact that they might be siblings. Now, a lot of people, if you're watching this for the first time, you may be like, what the hell? But hold on for a second. If you understand the Elseworlds grasp and everything like that, this is actually possible. I think Thomas Wayne is meant to be in his 60s in the film. Obviously, Joaquin Phoenix is in his early 40s in real life. They could mark him down to like 35. And the whole story is, if you've looked at the casting calls for the characters, like Arthur Fleck's mother and stuff like that, obsessed with her former employer. Bottom line, may have had Arthur Fleck with Thomas Wayne when he was in his early 20s. May have not wanted a kid back then. He gets with Martha Wayne, has Bruce Wayne. Arthur Fleck might not know this. This might be a revelation of the film, possibly one other little crack to his insanity, where he finds out from his mother that, you know, they could have been like the Waynes. And the fact that she's, you know, obsessed with her former employer is an interesting telling sign there as well. As I said, take it with a huge grain of salt. But this, I would buy this. I seriously would buy this. It would have a really interesting dynamic in the future. Bruce Wayne is a young kid in this film. I think it's going to be nothing too serious, more than a cameo or anything like that. But if they do add that, you know, element to this film, I still think the Joker won't know Bruce Wayne is Batman in the future. And as I said, this isn't really important. This film is about the Joker. It won't be the Batman, you know, setting up the Batman in the future or anything like that. But if you want to envision it for yourself, it would add a nice element to, as, you know, the Joker doesn't know Bruce Wayne is Batman, but it would explain why Bruce Wayne gets trolled by the Joker sometimes, because Arthur Fleck, you know, just is frustrated that his whole life he is technically half a Wayne, has grown up on the dirt of Gotham slums and everything like that, and yet there's Bruce Wayne, maybe never paid her any money for Arthur's upbringing, but blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to talk about that anymore, but I would love to know, with, you know, this being in mind of an Elseworlds film, would you be down for stuff like that? As I said, I doubt this will actually be in the film, but I think that's kind of cool. And if they did add that little bit of the element into the story where they find out, oh, he's half a Wayne, and then he went off and had a whole other family, didn't give any support to Arthur Fleck's family and himself and his upbringing, that would be a really cool connection. I would actually really dig that. Not so much the cocaine-faced Joker rumor, even though I don't mind his mind getting a bit more skewed through drugs throughout the film, because this is going to be a bit more of a gritty real life thing where you might see his psychology go downhill through obviously depression, out of work, things like that, but also possibly alcohol and drugs. I'm fine with that. This, as I said, and I keep repeating, isn't a nice man who just falls into a chemical vat with a family beforehand. I think it's going to be something completely different, and I will respect it so much for its independent storyline from anything else we know, and hopefully will inspire future films to do the same thing, because it doesn't always have to be recycled kind of stuff. Now, obviously, you might be like, Boba, what are you saying? They've never done the Killing Joker in a film before, so why can't they do it this time? That's not what I'm really on about, but we're very familiar with that story. The Joker, even though he doesn't have an official origin story, is always referred to with the Killing Joke or the chemical vat, or this is the way it should be, or that is the way it should be, or something like that. There's nothing wrong with doing it differently. But aside from that, guys, that is the gist of the video. I obviously hadn't made one in a while, so I kind of wanted to just do a blabble kind of discussion video about it, you know, with the updates of the most recent ones, like Joaquin Phoenix rumored to have killed it as the Joker role, but also address some of the finer details of what could happen when the film comes out and things like that. So I want to know, are you still excited for this film? Are you still in disagreement? Even though you know it's an Elseworlds film, you may just not care. You wish they did the Killing Joke. Or are you excited that it's an Elseworlds film and it's going to be kind of different, going down a more gritty, grounded take of this guy struggling to get work and just going down a spiral staircase to insanity. So that is where I personally land. Let me know your thoughts on everything. So of course, subscribe if you're brand new to this channel. Of course, I'll be covering this film as of when there's some tangible stuff to break down, or another discussion thing to go over. Obviously, when the trailer comes out, you can be sure to know that I'll cover that as well. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Links as always are in the description down below. So be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and everything like that there. Of course, I have merch and other things like Patreon to help fuel the content that I create. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you jokers in the next video. Goodbye.